welcome back. We are here at the Mecca of Banter. Before we get into anything, I kind of just wanted to make a blanket statement. I think this is one of the first times that Butch, Sean, and Mai's team are all above you in the table. How's it feel? How's it feel to be at 14th?
Since you've been a fan, you have 0 trophies. We finished above you last year.
Okay.
So if we can do this all day. Most successful English team. Anyway, I will admit, all Southampton way better than United, Liverpool way better than United, Chelsea way better than United right now.
Okay.
I'll
the Saints were at the top of the table at one point.
Don't make me start chanting.
Donnie Ings.
The man is creative. Okay, so as I said last podcast, we're going to start things off with the Mecca of Banter, which is our group chat that we have. And this question, to start it off, is from Joey Beeg, fellow Chelsea supporter. And his question is, Jose has been at Tottenham for a year now. If you had to grade his time there, what would it be and why? And I'm going to start this off by saying that Sean and my boy Dobes here are on two different sides of the spectrum for this talk. So take it away, boys.
I think on the talk as a whole, yes, but I think when we have the conversation is how has Jose done at Tottenham, I think Sean will probably agree on a lot of points here. I think if you look at where Poch left the team, he left them, believe they're 14th or 15th in the table when he left, compared to where they ended last year, which was near the top 4. So I think almost as a Jose fan, you almost have to scratch that last season because I think, as we were talking about earlier, Jose always finds that his second season is his best. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he can bring in the players that he wants. Players can get used to his demands, how they want to play. And so if I was to give him a grade on the first 2 seasons, I'd probably give him like a B. I mean, they won last weekend, top of the table. They're playing beautiful football. Kane is, I think, made himself into a player that I didn't even know he was. I thought he was a goal scorer. The dude's bagged 8 assists this year.
Kane is something special.
He's brought out another thing in Kane, but I think I would give Jose a B so far. I think he's done a lot with the team, and I think he's just beginning.
I think that's fair. I would probably give him the same grade as you, and give him a B. I think it's hard to, as much as in the past I've not liked Jose's coaching styles and his antics and all that stuff, it's hard to look over the fact that how well Tottenham's playing, how well Harry Kane is playing, how well Son's playing. It's very hard to overlook that and give him a worse grade, in my opinion.
When you attract a player like Gareth Bale,
Chill.
I don't.
Can't be a credit to that to Jose Mourinho.
I think he's a part of it.
The only reason Gareth Bale is playing soccer is because he gets to play at Tottenham.
I agree with Sean.
He'd be hitting the links somewhere if he wasn't playing Tottenham.
Say that
you could be coaching Tottenham and he'd be there.
Say Tottenham brings in David Moyes. Is he going there?
You could be coaching Tottenham, and if Bale wanted to be playing professional soccer, it'd be
I think that if David Moyes is at Tottenham and United offers him money, he's coming to play for Man United.
Interesting. I don't agree. I think it's just the fact that it's Tottenham.
I think he wanted to be happy. I think Bale had wanted to be happy. Yeah. But Scrap, what do you got?
Reguilon.
It's a good signing.
Great signing. I know. I gave him a B.
He's made a couple of good signings.
What do you think,
I just don't credit Bale. That's a long history before Jose. Good.
I give him a B as well. The only thing I don't understand right now is why. I'm a big fan of Lo Celso, and he's coming off the bench. I think he's better. He's 5 times the player than Dele Alli. You guys know I think Dele Alli is the most overrated player.
Dele Alli doesn't play.
Jose likes Dele a lot too,
and he doesn't play.
Lo Celso
tries to play him. He's been slowed down a bunch. Dele hasn't been playing as much.
I think he's getting the team. Buying into the way he wants to play. I just don't agree with some of his decisions. We were just talking before the podcast, Sean, about how he was sitting Toby for 4 straight games for no reason. Toby's the best center back at the club, established Belgium.
Before it was Jan.
Belgium superstar. Yeah, and he just said, "Oh, I'm going to play Eric Dyer."
Eric Dyer's. He wanted Harry Maguire.
He wanted to be able to play direct from the back with Eric Dyer. It makes sense, especially in a 3-back system. My thing with Jose Mourinho's Tottenham is ticking. They're getting the offense that you don't naturally expect from a Jose Mourinho team. His defense is a little shaky. We were talking about how I think this is definitely like an opinion, but when he came to the club, he tried to like lay down his foundation of, I think it's going to be Sanchez. I think it's going to be Davison Sanchez. I think it's going to be Eric Dyer in the back and the Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen days. They're in the bottom half of the table. They might be world-class center backs, but he can get it done a different way, and that's the way it's going to be. That started kind of crumbling when their defense was making mistakes. Sanchez was making mistakes every game, and Eric Dyer was starting to make mistakes every game. He pulled Sanchez to try and change things around instead of sticking with them, like I think he would have in the past. And then, I mean, obviously, Jan Vertonghen got shipped out, but he started playing Toby Alderweireld again. So I'll give him a B.
It's credit.
I'll give him.
Credit.
I'll give him a B.
You can say it,
And what I
Sean.
like the most is that I think I think he was a baby up until this year. I think that he was a lot of like ego, and this year he's the thing I think that he's done the best with his team, like specifically tactics, because I think Kane and Son would just run amok with Ndombele on their team. I think they would be doing exactly what they would be doing with most coaches. I think that what he's done with the defense in a really chaotic Premier League is pretty good, because Tottenham versus Burnley didn't look very good. A 1-0 win for Tottenham. I remember watching that one. It was not great. It was super sloppy. Tottenham versus Brighton, super sloppy game. 2-1. 1-0 against West Brom, arguably the team that's guaranteed for relegation. I mean, it's just as good as like their stats are, like the goals and assists, and like they give up random goals to bad teams. There's just still an element to them that just feels like they're unsteady. And like I'll give them a B because they're second at the table, and I think he's been willing to make adjustments. So I'll give him a B.
They win. It's the players. They lose. It's Jose. I mean, take your pick. We look terrible. It's Jose's fault.
Jose, always the victim.
Son and Kane bagging goals and assists and assists. It's not Jose though. It's just them.
I mean, Eric Dyer's taken.
You give Kane and
so.
Son more credit for their season, or do you give Jose more credit for Kane and Son's season?
I think that Kane playing as a false nine, which he wasn't doing under Poch. He was more playing as an out-and-out striker with Dele Alli sitting underneath, because Dele Alli always played under Poch. Now he is truly
Kane always
I see Kane
back
at
and
the
picked up
half
the ball.
line more than I ever have before.
Kane
I
always
agree
came
with
back and
that.
picked
Like
up the
I see
ball.
him at the half.
I see, but he does have a point. I think a lot recently he's been doing it.
He's a false nine.
More.
Like he's a true out-and-out striker, but he's that part of his game that I think he didn't
I think him and
unlock
Son
yet.
are in their prime.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
100%.
know if that's
And
technically Jose.
Ndombele, me and Butch have talked about it. I think he's like a top 3 center mid in the prime.
Yeah, because
Like,
I watched the
I think
two
if he,
England
like
games.
when Barcelona wanted him, like top clubs want
Yeah.
Ndombele. He's a freak.
Yeah. And
Am I wrong?
I think it's Kane. I think it's Kane changing his game. I don't think it's so much as if Jose had influence on that. I have no idea. But watching the England games, he did the same thing. He was coming back to half, receiving the ball, and that was more often than normal. And I was like, okay, I guess
Going
Kane
back
is getting in his
through
bag again.
Jose's past, he doesn't normally make relationships with the strikers and change them. Normally, what he does is give up the fewest goals in the league. Like,
True.
I'm
spot on.
It's tough for me to just see Kane and Son's performance where it's literally Son beating 4 or 5 players on a dribble. Like their combination plays taking like 6 or. I mean, it's just
comes from the training ground.
Do you think-
I give them more credit for their goals and assists. I give him more credit for changing his defense when I thought I was slowing down. All right, but
When you look at players like Di Maria goes to United, shit. Depay goes to United, shit.
yeah, it was weird. He's so
Different
bad.
coach, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Those players are world class. If they're not playing for Louis van Gaal and a player that can unlock that, like Harry Kane is much better this year than I've ever seen him.
I agree. I was just about to ask, do you think he's the best striker in the Prem right now?
Him or Vardy?
I think so.
Him or Vardy,
Kane.
in my opinion.
I think Kane's one.
Kane just because he brings that more like can play those through ball. Like Vardy's more of a run at you, run and gun. Coach.
Vardy. I mean, it's hard for me to use this example, but Vardy plays defense. But like Kane will be like clearing balls off the line and shit.
Yeah.
Like
In his own
jersey
6-yard
torn.
box.
Like I don't know. Kane's different.
Yeah, he's worldy in my opinion.
All right, I say we get to the next topic, which I'm very eager to talk about, which is our U.S. men's national team.
Woo!
I'm gonna try and keep it neutral. Don't want to get too hyped or too down low about it. Butch, what are your thoughts on our two performances?
Good times ahead, boys. That's all I can say. Bright
Amen, brother.
future.
Good stuff.
Bright,
Good stuff, Butchie.
bright future, boys. Hey, in all honesty, man, there's so many highlights I can take from those two games, but I'm going to start. I'd love for us to start with Weston McKennie. I think he deserves a lot of recognition.
Completely agree. He's a dog. That's how I describe Weston McKennie.
You know what I love
a
about
dog.
He's the dog.
He's
the
like
dog.
on
The
the
dog.
field. It's his field.
Yes. Love it.
And Tyler Adams reads off that.
I know.
Well.
Yeah.
Let Butch go.
I was just about to mention Tyler Adams. About him and Weston, they just complement each other, man. When I watch Weston play, he reminds me, right now, he's like reminding me of that Gennaro Gattuso, AC Milan, just bulldog, psychopath.
He gets that look in his eye.
He does.
For sure.
He does.
gets that look in his
100%.
eye.
You know-
when he had that tackle where he should have been sent off. That was,
Where I go red and Doge goes hard yellow.
Is that not some Gattuso shit, though? I mean, guys. But no, I think what I'm really happy about with Weston McKennie is I think he has embraced his transfer to Juventus. He's embraced going into a locker room where he's an American playing amongst world-class players.
He plays with Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's playing with Cristiano, Paulo Dybala.
Under Pirlo.
Under Pirlo, yeah.
And he's gone in there, he's embraced it, but he's also, you can see his eagerness. Like, he knows his potential now. Like, he's like, okay, I can compete with Juventus. I'm getting solid minutes with Juventus. I'm making a difference. And he's transferring that into the national team. You can see his confidence, man. I am buzzing.
I think it's all those guys in that age group have ambition that I don't think, like, going up and watching the national team, like, it sounds crazy, but I don't remember the national team guys hanging out, like, being best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these guys a lot of them grew up in the national team system together. They hang out.
They're all like within 3 years of each other.
They're all like within 3 years, which means so much because, like, you can clearly tell
Relate.
they want to play for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's-
Adams will do anything for McKinney. McKinney will do anything for Reyna. And, like, a guy like Musa, who I hate giving him credit, but credit to Greg Berhalter for getting him to come into camp.
Musa was, I thought, incredible.
He's special.
I
like
think
him.
England wants him, right?
he could have chosen Spain.
England, he played earlier this year. He played for, I believe it's the
Arsenal.
U18s, the
England.
England national team, like with them. And the fact that Berhalter got him to call up, I just think the fact that all those guys are around the same age and they can grow together and they'll have like so much that like no other, we're the youngest. We literally put together the youngest roster in the entire world
It's crazy.
for this last camp,
Crazy.
which it's so exciting.
Oh, it's incredible.
You get back to like the hotel lobby and like
Yeah.
you walk in and he's talking to McKinney and Tyler Adams and he's like, "Oh, how's Ronaldo?"
yeah.
He's like, "Okay, maybe these guys
Oh,
aren't
wait,
what I
Serginho,
maybe these guys,
Serginho, how's Messi?
Yeah, like
Well, that's what I was just about
Wes
to say.
and McKinney,
I think
how's Pep's talks like going? Like, what anything you got for me? Like, I don't know. It's different now. It's definitely different. And something about the way you saying like I thought about it like a bunch about how like McKinney being under Pirlo and next to Ronaldo and like all the other great players like Milan Pjanic, like specifically, like, well, did they cross paths there?
Maybe for
Ramsey.
like a week.
Oh yeah,
Was
it
him
was
and
straight
Ramsey together.
Yeah, Ramsey's a good experience, but like just like the brilliance of like a European like style of play, but like something about you saying him producing there and like seeing he can like be active on the field and be someone that those guys actually look to give the ball to. That confidence was definitely there for the first time this camp.
Oh yeah.
Where his shoulders were
I'm
up.
the guy.
Like he
I'm the
was like,
man.
I'm gonna blow you up. I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah.
he wanted the ball.
My thoughts on the specifically on Wes were that he gets a B plus, like an 89% for me. His mistakes were all preventable. Like everything that he did wrong was just a forced pass.
You think trying to do too much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's no CP. Gio was absent at times.
I was not impressed with Gio.
I'll
The
let
second
you
game more than the first for sure.
Agreed.
I'll let you guys toss around Gio, but like Wes kind of started to sense because Adams would sweep everything up and they'd get the ball, but then like when you look forward, it was just kind of stagnant. And I felt like Wes was like, I gotta go, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. They should just keep the ball, and he'll learn that for sure.
Like he had to do everything.
And some of the passes, I don't know if you guys remember, but some of the passes I remember being like, cause you guys were talking like he would make us an insane tackle, track back 40 yards, and like do something insane. You guys would be like, Wes is doing great. The Mecca would be blown up, and he'd make a pass that like I would be like, oh my god.
Erratic.
Like I was just like, you can't be serious.
Erratic.
And so like those are going to be all eliminated, I assume.
Yeah.
Like when he kind of starts to grow in his role of like, I don't have to do that. Like we'll just bounce a couple of times. Like I assume that's going to be taken care of. But yeah, those were my thoughts against West. Because other than that, it was his field. Both teams, Wales, his field. Fucking
he was the best.
Panama.
He was the best player in the field,
And-
for me
and
in the Wales game especially.
The person that I would want to bring up is Dest. I thought when he came on the field, it's kind of like what we were talking about, the confidence that all these guys have playing with these big clubs. When he had the ball at his foot, you knew he played for Barcelona.
We talked
Yeah,
about
Dan.
that.
He
What did
literally-
Dan
he had
say?
the
That
ball.
This guy's different.
He had the ball, and he was letting everyone on that field know that this man played for Barcelona. The confidence on the ball, some of the stuff he was doing, the no looks, and I hate to say this and hate to compare him, but it almost reminded me a little bit of Neymar, a little bit, with some of the
To me,
extra
it's more
flair that
Danny
he was
Alves.
adding on.
It's Danny
Danny
Alves.
Alves, but I was blown away by it, and I was like,
flair
wow,
is wild.
this kid
I think
plays for Barcelona.
What's so cool is the fact that we didn't look great, but like the signs are encouraging,
Yes,
and we didn't have Christian Pulisic.
our best player.
Like the one guy that like I think Greg Berhalter writes a team sheet right now. Like the first name for me is like Christian or like Zach Steffen.
Yeah.
Like, I think those two belong, and I think just the fact that we didn't have him allowed us to see just exactly what else we could build. Because I feel like if I were to watch that game with Christian on there, my eyes are focused on what he's doing.
Yeah,
Like,
we wouldn't appreciate.
We
the
wouldn't
other people.
appreciate the little things that like Musa did, the little runs that like a Sebastian Soto made up top. He comes in, scores 2 goals.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Could be good.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like because we didn't have him, we could see more, but now it's just putting it all together.
Yeah, and
So that was your. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say another thing that I thought was interesting was kind of what you were talking about before. Is they're all boys and they're so young.
All boys.
I think it's crazy how mature they are. These guys are playing for the top clubs in the world. They're coming to a national team that has never had that before. I would expect if I'm 19 years old and I'm playing for Barcelona, I'm walking into the U.S. camp going, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that.
It was that one day.
I
I think
don't know,
it was.
bro.
There was
They're the
8
first team to ever
Americans.
play out of the back in U.S. men's national team history and look like they knew what they were doing. So
Exactly.
I think they were fairly confident, like we're the shit.
Well, yeah, but I think as a team, I don't
Yeah,
think it was
no.
individuals, and I thought that
The
was
only player I
incredible
thought- the only player I
maturity,
thought
and
did
I thought it
that-
was
The
incredible.
only player I thought did that was Gio Reyna.
Yes,
Yeah,
and we can get into that.
So your takeaway, if I'm not mistaken, was that like the players, the confidence is different because not only are they at the big clubs, but they're back and they're balling at their clubs. What do you got?
I was just gonna say, I think Gio underperformed for me in the 2 games, and I think one of the big things is people forget the man has Holland and Marco Royce on his team, and the U.S. has big names now compared to what we've
didn't
had.
have a true 9 for him to play with.
He didn't have anyone
Yeah.
to really play off. Yeah, it's probably not what he's used to at Dortmund, and I think that kind of affected his game. And I think he was in his head thinking he had to do too much. When he plays for Dortmund, he's very simple. He gets the ball off his foot, and I think when he was playing for us, it was okay. I'm kind of a big name on this team. I need to perform.
That's exactly
and I
the
don't
vibe
think
I
he did.
got. Didn't play bad.
two
Oh
takes
no,
on
not
my
awful.
God,
Yeah,
yeah.
not awful.
2. My number 1 is I'm like turning my trust meter in Greg Berhalter from like a 3 to like a 4.
One notch.
But truthfully, like the fact that he's you can clearly tell that he's taking it, or making an initiative to get those dual nationals, and he's making it a priority to meet with
New
their,
ones.
the new ones. But
Right.
he's getting with their clubs. He's
Yep.
talking to them regularly. He's doing everything he can. So Greg Berhalter for me deserves a lot of credit with putting that group for camp together. My second point is we're good, but I think like you're talking about Gio Reyna, when we get a full 11, like they need their roles. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Gio almost didn't have a role
100%.
of what
That's
he
a
was supposed to be
completely
doing.
Is he a
agree with
false
you.
9?
Is he a false 9? I see him
That's
dropping
what I
back.
thought he was.
I see him dropping back as a 6, and I think when you're a young player like that and you go into Dortmund, it's like this is what you're
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And the same goes with Wes because sometimes he gets too caught up. Same thing goes with Tyler Adams. But I think once we start to find a style and how we want to play, and people get put into roles, I think you can really see us flourish. But
If our tactics
we don't
are
have that
done right.
cohesiveness
If
yet.
our tactics are done right.
That's why I'm only at a 5 with Greg because he's still what he does. He's got to put us together.
I think Christian is going to help that dynamic out a lot more because I don't think the team we had that we produced the last 2 games, I don't think we had that person who was I say this with a grain of salt, but I don't think we had that person that was goal hungry, that really wanted to drive at the goal.
I'm with you.
And I just think Christian's going to bring that, and I think that's going to take pressure off of Gio. It's going to take pressure off of West. It's going to take pressure off all those guys of like, oh, I need to dribble too much.
The entire field is focused on Christian when he has the ball.
Exactly.
100%.
And I think it's going to open up everyone else.
The two things I saw were Christian's not on the team sheet. Who's the number one first guy? You said it's Wes. For me, after that game, it's hard not to say fucking John Brooks, bro.
I love that
so
man.
Quality.
Love that man.
The amount of happiness it provided me to see how good. I'm talking 70-yard balls consistently spread across the field at will.
I know
Just
you have the
looking
stat up.
silky
How many passes? How many passes?
I
You don't have the stat up? I thought you had that thing on your phone real quick.
I
But
got
the
something
man,
else up.
it was.
He was just
goes back to
knocking
what-
long balls at a way that I've never seen the U.S. men's national team have
agreed.
the ability to do that. I don't remember what I said. Like
We played out of the back.
Yeah,
Like,
Him
John
and
Brooks
Omar
has the-
Gonzalez and Gooch just heading the ball long.
John Brooks has more talent in his
Michael Bradley comes back.
left foot than Omar Gonzalez has in his entire body, which is 100% true. We now have the ability as a U.S. men's national team to play out of the back.
Yeah.
Lit. Awesome. That was
more
my
Jonathan Bornstein.
That was for sure my number one takeaway. And just like a side thing is the left back situation, because obviously Dest is going to lock down whichever one he chooses.
Yep.
So I kind of wanted to get.
I think he belongs on the right. That's just my
I
opinion.
I
agree
kind of
too.
wanted to get it's usually one of the most dangerous players in the other field, so like that's cool with me. But who do you think is going to be that alternating left back? Because we actually have like a fair amount of options.
I really like Robinson, but the thing
He's
with
rapid.
he's rapid, and again he's so young. Like he's playing
They're all
for
young.
Fulham. Like he's just starting to get minutes. Like if you're asking me right now, if you give me who is my starting left back 2 years from now at the World Cup, it's probably him. I think it would probably be him.
Funny you put it that way. All right. I'll say what I was going to say.
I would probably
Chris
go the same
Gloucester,
way.
PSV, the under 20
yeah.
left back for the U.S. men's national team, who got the player of the bracket round of the U20. Whenever they beat France, he was the standout player of the game in the final. This Gloucester dude, left back.
Okay.
If Anthony Robinson doesn't step it up, this guy who plays for Fulham, which we've never been able to say before in the U.S. men's national team, we got this guy who plays for PSV who might take his spot.
Yeah, that's wild to say.
So like
that is wild to say.
I don't know. And obviously there's Reggie Cannon, like Texas boy, like who's an absolute stud. Like
He's rapid.
I would not mind
He's
in any
rapid.
way. He's a shutdown back.
He's rapid.
Like those are always welcome in my team, especially in like national team games.
I'm trying to think. Like I would almost play Christian out left, but like
Someone's got to cover for him.
Well, what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. If you play Christian out left, like Chelsea, he tracks back a bunch. I don't think he will have that same role in the national
He
team.
will not be tracking back.
He will not be
Hell
running
no.
back at all.
Wes and Adams will be.
But I will say, I would love to see Serginho and Pulisic on the same side. I
agree
think
with
that
that.
has the
That
ability.
link up.
That link up play, just their creativity. I think that could be. I also think Pulisic is gonna like. I think Greg might just be like, "Do what you want, dude. Like, play where you want to play."
I hope that's what he does.
I'm not so sure about that anymore.
I just think it depends
After
on
the
who.
last two performances by us.
I don't even know how much better he is than Wes and Tyler. Tyler has there are traits in these guys that like
We just need a 9. We don't have a 9.
what's his, I don't want to say his name wrong.
Oh, that scored twice. I
It's-
can't say it correctly. It scored twice the last game.
Giacchini.
Yeah, Giacchini. However you say it.
Bro, I was watching some of his highlights today. He's got something that I've never seen U.S. men's national team striker have. He comes back and he will literally
Jose Altidore?
he's left-footed and he'll like come back into his own half, take a couple big touches towards his defense and switch the ball with a long ball left-footed to the opposite field like 50 yards. So like that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
good to have.
That'll help us.
I thought he was like pretty good looking.
And
but-
how old is he?
And then there's Sargent. He's 20. So
Yeah,
like,
Sergeant, St. Louis boy,
He's
always
question,
repping.
like,
I'm not so sure about him. I think
Same.
this.
I'm in the same boat as you are.
Giacchini dude, we need to monitor
Sargent
him.
needs to play more.
But Pulisic, I kind of want him to have a role. Even if it's 10, even if it's you're the 10, I kind of want him to have a position.
I agree.
I agree with that, but I
'Cause when he
want him at the
floats,
10
I
as
see him,
well,
like-
and I want him to go wherever he wants. I want
It's
him
what-
to
it's-
sit underneath the striker, and I would literally want you do you.
This is
the role's
Berhalter.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Berhalter though. It's all how he thinks the pieces are going to fit together. Is Christian a 10? Is Christian a winger? Is Christian a 9? Like where's like
Yeah. I guess we'll find out.
I want to say my thought on the U.S. team, but what are your thoughts on CP? Based like judging off of what you just saw and how competent our team is, like, what do you want to see from your coach?
I mean, as a coach myself, when you have a player like that, I personally think that you should. I agree with Dobes. 100%. I think he needs to figure it out, but I think with a player who has special qualities, because you got to think about this: how many times during a generation do you get a special player? Special.
Especially from this country.
Special.
We thought that, and now I'm not so sure. He's very good, but so's Wes.
I think
so's
CP's special.
Tyler Adams, and so's Gio. Like Rena, apparently, like I wasn't nearly ready to put Gio at CP's level, and I'm still not. But from what everyone else does, Dortmund's contract with them, they think he is.
I don't think he's in
I think
CP's
CP's
class.
above all of them.
I
think they are
I'm a
all
hater.
quality,
I'm a Sean
but I
hater.
think CP is what Butch is getting at with special.
Okay, so we'll now we're both in agreement. You guys think he's a little bit of a more generational talent, like the best there's ever been for you, and I agree he definitely is right
Clint.
now. But R.I.P. Deuce, his career.
Deuce.
What's better for the team? Christian to come in and get the free roll? Because Wes and Tyler will probably just grind regardless.
Well, that's what I was agreeing with.
That's a
Dobes.
rare situation.
But that's what I was agreeing with Dobes. As a coach, you have to understand the right role. You can't just because he's special doesn't mean you can just give him a free role. You have to sit down and literally analyze how is he going to impact the team in the best way. Because he's special, he can play as a winger, as a 10, as a 9. You can throw him in any position, he's going to be great. But you got to figure out what he's going to do to help the U.S. team. You can't just say, okay, you're special. Go play as a 10. Get the ball wherever you want. This is what I want. I haven't even looked at my other options. Just go do it. You can't do that. You got to analyze it. And I think Dobes is right.
I think what's cool with him is he's got Frank Lampard. Like it's not like he's playing for Chelsea. He's got Frank, and
Damn good coach.
there's parts of Pulisic's game where like his runs in behind, he wasn't great at, and even seeing him at Chelsea, he's improved on that drastically. So I think that Frank's going to unlock kind of more make him more of a complete footballer. In the way that he's so creative, he's so good at running at people, but if he can add that, like, his runs in behind perfectly, it's just going to take him to the next level. And I'm kind of with Sean to where when Christian was at Dortmund and he started with Chelsea, I was like,
Champions League final.
I was like,
he's
this dude-
destroying Real Madrid.
this dude's going to be the next coming. And because he's been at Chelsea and he can't get consistent football because of injuries or whatever it is, it's not that I'm not as high on him, but I'm just a little bit hesitant
I hear
to
what you're
just
saying.
put him so far ahead of Wes and so far ahead of Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams tilts the scales.
See,
Because Wes and their relationship, go ahead.
Boss a game.
No, but I was just going to say, like, I agree with you that Wes and Tyler are amazing players. But I don't know, man. I just think, like, when you think generational, like, who in our team can do what CP does?
You can beat 3 people.
Well, my thing is
Sure.
when CP's healthy, in form, like we saw a little bit at Chelsea, he's the best player on the field. I think
the right foot, left foot header hat trick.
I think he's the best player on the field. Weston McKennie comes and balls out for Juve. Do you think he's the best on that field at times?
At times, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I need to I need to watch more
literally,
Juve.
Tyler Adams
I need
came
to
in
watch
and-
more Juve of
What was
Wes.
it?
I
He
only
scored-
watched.
He scored the sub goal when he came on.
Yeah,
in the sub
for
goal.
Leipzig.
Yeah, like I mean, like
I'm just saying when CP's on, he's
Generational.
You guys say
he's
move on to
making
the
Trent
Prem?
Alexander
Oh,
look
hold
like
on.
a.
I got the one thing that like the reason I think if I were the coach of the U.S. men's national team, all right. So the most valuable thing I think in the soccer world right now, like it always rotates, like the 3 center back system for Italy, the 4-2-3-1 that like swept across when they were doing like those like dynamic like the Lewandowski, Marco Reus, Götze, and Blazikowski, like they had that 4-2-3-1.
Blazikowski.
It was just there were just lineups that just had like certain trends that started to like really drive success. I think the ideal model right now is 3 athletic, creative center mids that can all play in a triangle together. I think the
and
best,
switch roles.
and I think that's it. It's just interchangeable, and
Yeah.
it's the deep guy could end up as the 10, and then he'll run back for the team. Like that's what you need. You need commitment. because it's rotating. So you need them to be willing to do that. Ideal example, Manchester City, KDB, Gundogan, and Rodri. Even though I don't even like Rodri that much, he's got some okay talent on the ball. And it's like would I prefer someone else there? Like that 3 center mid, your Cam is De Bruyne, who will blow people up and he'll run box to box the entire game. Gundogan,
Class.
kids at home listening to this, YouTube Gundogan highlights. He will literally, he's a magician. He's different. Like, these guys are also willing to blow you up. They will intercept the entire game. Their tactical formation is crazy. Liverpool, Gini, Jordan, Thiago Alcantara. Those are 3 guys that can all anywhere in the triangle formation. They can run. They will run box to box the entire game. Naby Keita, slide him in. They will run box to box the entire game. Ox. Klopp knows what he's doing. I think he kind of started it. Klopp, like the box to box, but they will create too. U.S. men's national team. McKinney, Tyler Adams, Musa.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about him, but from what I've watched, which is about 20 minutes of clips, he will blow you up. He has that strength where when you run into him, you just bounce off. And he'll glide with the ball and he'll take it up, and he's young. But, like, I would just love it if instead of that ghost position of CP being the top of that triangle, we put in our hardworking, strong, creative, driving players, and CP feeds off of that. Yeah.
Everybody you named can play in behind too.
Yeah,
like they can play that final pass.
They can
like
score.
I've seen Tyler do. Oh yeah, exactly. They can score. I've seen all of them do it.
It just gets me excited because I truly think that's the you got it factor right now. The big teams are looking to build that.
Yeah,
and we just got it.
And
like 3 class ones.
The age at what we're doing it at is mind blowing to me. I think I really fully figured that out was after reading Gio Reyna's 5-year contract that he just signed with Dortmund.
So it's 7.
It's 5. So it's till 2025. Yeah. He's going to be 23. He will still be younger than
what
all
year
of
you
us
said it
in
was?
this room.
2025?
2025. He will still be 23 years old. Our average age on the men's national team
he'll be getting ready to win his
game
second World Cup, dude.
was 22, and that was with, who's the striker? I always forget his name. Leggett, who's 28. So if you take out Leggett, put CP in, our average age is like 29
or the
years old,
which is dude who was literally 20.
They're gonna play two, 3 World Cups together.
Future's bright.
Future's bright.
Future's bright. They're gonna play 2, 3 World Cups together.
Yeah, if not more. All right,
and it's gonna be incredible.
Prem.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get you guys takeaways. So first, like, I want to ask one question. Like, if you guys had to pick a team that's impressed you the most, like, obviously we're past Everton's little fake thing they had going there, and they've kind of dropped off a little. Like, what teams have impressed you guys?
They got weird things going on in their squad though.
100%.
So like I'm not so quickly to write them off.
No, I agree with that.
Richarlison missing those games, being suspended, like that's definitely big. But
I think Aston Villa has impressed me the most, and I think they will finish top 4.
Wow.
I think they have a strong defense. I think Ross Barkley was one of the biggest signings in the transfer window. That you guys could twist my arm, whatever you want.
For an Aston Villa.
For an Aston Villa.
Yes.
I think he was the perfect transfer to help Grealish. I'm very impressed, and I love Ross Barkley. A little bit biased.
So Villa,
Chelsea.
Shano?
I like Villa.
I mean, it's just hard not to say it.
No, dude, this is your time to. If United was in front,
boys, run it up.
We got that midfield trio that I was talking about. Our team around them has been volatile. Like no other way to say it. We literally we tie you 3-3.
Yes.
Game should have literally been 6-0 Chelsea. Yep. Like the Prem is so weird right now that as long as you're coming to play every week and you've got a solid core of the middle of your field, or you have a solid back 4, or you have anything, or you have anything that's going to actually like separate you at an elite level, like those 3 midfielders. That's what I think Southampton have. They have Oriol Romeo, who sits in the back, and he can also run box to box. He's not the most elite finisher in the world, but he can definitely play box to box and play passes in behind with James Ward-Prowse, and then the fucking ringer, Stuart Armstrong.
Dude,
I told him when he moved,
he just
that might be the best transfer we've had
so
in a long
well.
time. Stu will take that ball from box to box. He's right foot, left footed. He'll bury it from either way, and he gets his shot off so fast. but he's like shifty, and he'll just get the ball from either of them. He'll link up with Prowsey. He'll link up with Redmond, who's playing out of his mind.
And Walcott.
He'll link up with anyone else. Che Adams and Walcott. They're literally on the field for us, and we're still winning games.
Southampton has become a team that, like, when you see him on like the United team sheet, it's like it's a team you don't want to play against right now for anybody.
Yeah,
like
because it'll give you a battle in the midfield.
Like you said, it should have been like
That's
6
what it is.
6-0 Chelsea.
Yeah.
Southampton nicks 1. You're in for a dogfight for the rest of the game.
That's what happened.
Like
That's
that's what I'm saying. It's just
3-3 tie.
They're a team that, like, Southampton is a team that, like, as a Big Six club, they're what are they, 4th right now?
Yes.
I think they're 4th. But like anybody,
Chelsea's
I would
Liverpool.
hate to. I mean, they don't have Ings right now, but I would still hate to play Southampton right now. They're tough to play through.
Just from like if someone behind the scenes though, just the amount of talent that they're leaving on the bench in situations like this is just frustrating. It's like a similar relationship to Ozil and Arsenal. We got fucking bad club issues, and if we were just playing the right guys out there, I just think it would be going even better. But
so what's your ceiling?
You fall in, hitting the
as a
field.
fan, like if you would say like we're winning the league right now, I'd be like, go for it, dude. But like, what do you think your ceiling is?
Oh God. I mean, before like it's the league. It's hard to predict. I mean, I would try, but the league is just so volatile that like
Wide open.
hard to say.
Leicester's in first.
Hard like when you say Villa is gonna. Would you say win the league?
No, I said
Top 4.
they'll finish top 4.
I mean, like when you say that,
I think Chelsea's winning.
when
the
you
league.
say that Villa is a dogfight team, and right now
Yeah.
the Prem is a dogfight league. Like
Yeah.
Southampton's kind of the same way. It's hard for me to write them off. I
You
definitely
think winning right off for winning?
Southampton winning the league. No,
Yeah.
our defense isn't complete enough.
Okay, but you could see them finishing
Top 4.
Top 4. Okay.
If it goes well, that's the ceiling.
Yeah. Which go Saints.
Shawnee, you know I'm with you, man. Hey, I'm being honest. Every single weekend when Southampton plays, Shawnee texts me, Bucci, did you just see what I saw? And I text him right away. I'm like, dude, let's go. Like, dude, I mean, you guys we're all very similar in the way that we like certain things about the game. We all love a good midfield. All
All of us have played midfield.
All of us have been midfield players. You look at
No lazy midfielders here.
no, you look at Southampton. You better not be looking at me.
No, I was looking at myself.
You look at Southampton and you got destroyer / I guess really good distributor from deep in Romeu.
Barcelona, Chelsea player before he got his injury.
You've got your free kick specialist, box to box.
Best in the
creator,
world.
Best in the world,
Possibly.
free
Ward
kick.
Prowse.
Best in the world, I think.
And you've got
Best in the world? Prowsey?
Prowse can do it
Probably.
all, man. Okay, and then you got Armstrong, who, like Sean said, is just this guy who just surprises you with his talent. Can create anything. Man, when you got those three playing like the way they're playing, I'm with Sean. I think that you have to aim Europa League if I'm Southampton.
That's what I was
I
going to say.
think Europa League is kind of like where they're.
I think you go Champions League.
Been above that.
No, I don't. But I don't.
They were top of the table.
I'm impressed with Southampton, and I really like the players in the club. I'm a fan of these players.
Until they go to Liverpool.
I just don't know. I just don't know if they can hold it until June or May.
Hey, and
I don't know.
Unstable.
And you
The
know
whole-
what's-
the whole league's unstable.
I
You
don't
know what's
know.
funny? I said the same thing about Leicester.
Don't you take that's my most
I
impressive
said
team.
the same thing about Leicester when they won the
It
title.
was kind of a similar year too.
that
Like
whole-
Tottenham was the 2, right? Like it was a
Yeah.
weird year.
That whole year, I'm like, okay, they're gonna fall
Tottenham
off.
was the
Okay, they're gonna
2.
fall off. Okay, they're gonna fall off.
there's-
Okay, they're gonna fall off, and it never
there's-
happened.
I don't know.
To me,
They
there's
looked
no
complete
reason
from the
that
beginning.
Southampton shouldn't shoot for top 4. I think when you look, I mean, who really has impressed you the most to be like this team's in the top 4?
Yeah, that's-
Chelsea.
Because I can't give you a single, not even Chelsea that I can't.
I
No,
think
Chelsea's not been
of
impressive.
recent, yes. I think the way Chelsea's
Chelsea's
been
a-
playing
I'll
their
ch-
last
I'll-
3-4 games
There's
is
so much parity in the
mind-blowing.
league now. Like
I'll
I
bet however much money that Chelsea is a lock in the top 4.
Yeah,
If someone
same.
wants to bet it, I'll bet it.
I mean,
Half
like
odds.
it's one of those
Like-
things where it's just like I just think that like nobody has yet. I think either City. There's going to be a team, in my opinion, that's going to take over in the Prem. But
Chelsea's getting random injuries, but bro, Ziyech looks different already.
Did you see
Player of the
Ziyech
year.
internationally? By
2
the way,
goals, 3 assists.
oh my god,
Yeah.
dude,
And a PK.
man amongst boys.
I think Ziyech's winning the Premier League Player of the Year.
No.
Yep. That's my thought.
All right, so
I think
for
he
me,
is too.
I don't think he will.
Coming in, missing the first 6 games.
Who is?
I don't think he will.
Who will then?
Jamie Vardy.
Harry Kane. Okay, I can see that.
Okay,
This
for me,
dude's
let me
gonna
get to my
literally-
team. I'm ready to start gassing. I'm ready to start gassing Leicester City.
Okay. Do you think they're a household name now?
What do you mean?
Do you think they're a big six club?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just wanted to know your opinion.
Last year, going into the final.
Would you rather play Arsenal or Leicester?
Oh, Arsenal any day of the week.
That's what. But that's to me. That's
R.I.P.
what, like,
JP Kurt.
you have
R.I.P.
You have to look at those things where the fact that like
Cheers.
Brendan Rodgers has them, and I think it's part of Leicester's DNA where they are the hardest working team on the pitch, no matter who they play. You got guys like I love Tielemans. I think with Vardy,
Tielemans and Didi and
that's what I'm saying.
Matters.
That's what I'm saying. And
he'll
even
put in a shift.
even Matters doesn't necessarily have the stats this year to say his impact. Like his impact has been so much more than what it is. But to me, like it has to be Leicester City. I mean, think about it. Like 5 years ago?
Top of the table right now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like we Brendan Rodgers deserves a lot of credit, in my opinion, for
Good coach.
Great coach.
good coach. But to me, like it has to be Leicester City with Jamie Vardy. I just think in the way that they play, when they play the big teams, they have the ability to sit in and counter with Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
But then when they play
Schmeichel and Jamie Vardy?
but then when they
That's all you
play the teams that are like your West Broms,
Matters will pick them apart.
Matters will pick them apart, and they can play a style of football that's enjoyable to watch. So they have that like perfect balance of. The only thing I'm worried about is Johnny Evans as a center back, just because he's like their mainstay. But
the
like,
Reds.
I just think right now most impressive. Like
I love seeing him out there for the record.
it's so weird to me just because he left United forever ago, and the fact he's still playing at the team that is now leading the Premier League. I hate to take the team that's obviously in first, but between them and Villa, they've impressed me more than anybody. I love watching Aston Villa play.
I do too.
God,
It's fun to watch.
Because they make they're different than I see like I haven't watched Leicester as much as I should have. I haven't seen them sit in too much, but they definitely like could have. Like when I see Aston Villa play, they're just on go.
Yeah.
Like
From the
they
rip.
take they get the ball in their 18 and they just go to your 18. If they lose it, they lose it, and they all swarm you.
Run back.
They have. Guess what they have?
Three studs.
McGinn, an athletic center mid. Barkley, an athletic center mid that can all create. The goal that McGinn banged in that got called back. Do you remember that? That bar down left
Banger.
foot, just absolute rip. Who did they play last week? City? Liverpool?
No.
No.
They played someone really good.
I believe it was
Was it Everton? I'll look it up real quick. But you can keep going.
So this weekend we have
They played They played someone
Arsenal.
really
They
good.
played Arsenal.
False. They 3-0'd the Gunners. I take back what I said. Stacked some fact
embarrassing.
check. But he bangs that in minute 2. I go, this could be 5-0. They're not going to stop.
nope.
there's certain in my opinion there's certain players that like I watch almost every Premier League game, but like when Villa plays, it's like I watch Villa because Grealish is on the field. Like if Grealish isn't in the lineup and Villa's playing West Brom, like I'm not putting the game.
I
on.
think Sean had a I wouldn't say hot take because I think we're all in agreement, but Sean's point when we were out there before the podcast of if Grealish isn't at Aston Villa, he's a top 10 player in the world.
100%.
I think he's a top 10 player in the world right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, because if he was at a
Gareth Southgate literally doesn't want him to play for England.
he started
walked-
both games.
It's a little late,
he
bud.
started both games
and,
and he was one of the best players in
Yes,
the field
yes.
in both games.
Yeah. Did he have the band?
no.
Harry Maguire did and scored.
I think
Harry
that
Maguire.
Jack Grealish. 2 things. Jack Grealish had that effect on the field that Mesut Ozil had when Germany won the World Cup, which was when Germany would win the ball. They had, granted, it's a little different because they're the best players in the world, so it was more dramatized. But they would get the ball, and they would find Mesut, and then the play would start. Like that's kind of like what, in a sense,
England vibe.
That's kind of in a
And
sense
Aston Villa vibe.
what England was doing to Jack Grealish.
Makes him tick.
He literally,
Makes him tick.
they were like, okay, there's Grealish. Okay, now we'll make our runs. Now we'll spread it. Now we're ready to go. It's like when they weren't doing that, they were just passing a pass. Grealish gets the ball, and they're going. Everyone's got a plan and a purpose, and that confidence. I really, for some reason, what I wanted, my other point was, I think him and Madison would play so well together. I kind of like, they're similar players. Grealish is just better, but like, I think they would play so well. Their link up would be out of this world.
I think he would
Matters link up's really
He
good.
would look great with Bruno. Maybe Pogba behind him. Like,
Cut his mic.
That would be.
He's
that's
not
so
going there. He's going
wild.
to. Jack Grealish is going to Barcelona.
Yeah, he's gone.
Like he's not going to
to
Man
replace
U.
Messi.
He's not going to Man U.
Okay. So, Dobes, if you're the coach of Manchester United right now, how are you getting the players to perform, and what are you doing to get out of this funk, whatever you want to call it? What are you doing to make your team not in 14th?
It's tough because it's like a lot of me hates to because I don't think a lot. I would give this between 50-50 with Ole and the board. I think a lot of the players that the younger guys at United that played for United have a great respect for Ole and what he's done because he was a legend, scored a goal to win the Champions League. I think when you look at players like I know Pogba played for United, but when you look at players with like a little bit of bigger egos,
Pogba's got to have a distaste for old United.
And that's that's kind of what I'm thinking is I don't think it's anything particular Ole. It's just like when you have a guy like say Poach comes in, I think he's got the respect of the dressing room like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
you bring in
not
a guy like
split.
Jose comes into Tottenham. Like whatever your opinion on it, you respect him. And I think it's one of those things there's so many mixed results with United right now that it's do we trust it's you got, look at guys like Pogba who's saying France is a breath of fresh air for him. It's because like our results are so hit or miss that as a player you start to question yourself. And after you question yourself, is the manager putting me in these roles that I'm going to be successful in? So for me, it's like people are saying Ole out, and I personally think that it's almost that time. But I also think we need center backs. When you have Harry Maguire as your captain, like as much as we talk shit on him, like that's just like it can't be at
United.
At a United.
List Man U's back four right now as they are.
Like as I would want it.
No, just like as they've been.
Okay,
playing.
so it's Shaw.
Who's been the breakout defender of
Shaw?
Sorry, go ahead.
It's been Shaw, Maguire, Victor, and then the Spider. To me,
where would you rank that back four as you just said it in the Prim 20?
probably where we are in the table.
14th.
I'm not kidding. Probably,
Really?
Probably where we are in the table.
You think that's what that back four is?
I think that you
Back
can't.
fours are pretty balanced this year throughout the
But
league.
you
so-
can't have two players that are both have no pace, lack playing out of the back, and play slow. Playing center back, I think that
Lindelof can play out of the back.
he can, but the issue is that Maguire, because he's the captain, because he's the guy, he tends to think that he has to take too many touches.
He does that big touch.
He
up the
does that
middle.
big
We talked
touch,
about
big
it.
touch, big touch. Almost hit the long ball and play it into a striker where you wasted your time. It can't happen anymore. I think if I'm the coach, the biggest thing is if I'm Ole, you got to try to do your best you can to rally the troops around. You got West Brom coming up. Okay, his job's safe. Yeah. But then after that, it's like we get back into Champions League. United can't drop. We can't drop points. We can't afford to drop points. So if I'm the manager of Manchester United, the biggest thing is I want to make sure that all of the players are behind me. Whatever you have to do in the dressing room, whatever you have to do, you got to make the effort to get there. And then after that, it's like we need a big January. Yeah. Like we really do need a big January. It's like we're relying on play. And I can't put a lot of it on our players because I think players like Fred has been a low-key breakout player for us.
You know, I'm always in Fred's corner.
Fred works his balls off.
And when people hated him,
I'm very critical of Pogba, but I think when we play the big teams, you can see that Ole will set it up to where Pogba plays on that left side and can take up more space. He thrives. When we play like the West Broms, like this weekend, like who knows how like Pogba's going to play. And I think Pogba is the most talented player on our team.
Love to hear that.
He really is. He's the most talented. But we need a coach that can get that talent out of him. And if not, he's going to leave. But right now, for me, it's just we need I don't even know, man. It's
captain that you just paid the most for.
It's the first time. It's the first time as a United fan where it's like I don't have answers, like that I've ever been able to say like
they're going to swallow a fat ego pill to diss. Would you? I mean, Maguire like. He's
a
problem.
He
should have bought him for 30 mil, but you didn't. So
we could talk about bad business.
But that's like the point. Will Man United be like, yeah, we botched it,
and replace him,
but
or
that's
will they
the
have
thing
their
is
ego?
It comes to like Ed Woodward's in charge. Ed Woodward agreed to have that signing to pay the $80 million. Maguire's going to play, not because he should, but because they paid $80 million.
That's kind of like what my thought is, and like I don't know. I just List Chelsea's back four compared to them. Go ahead.
We got Thiago Silva. We got Zuma. We got Chilwell. And we got
How many goals does Zuma
Reece
have
James.
this year?
He has 4.
He's the best player out of the air in the Prem this year.
Facts.
I would have Rudiger start for United in my opinion too. Like
Zuma,
I like
Zuma is starting to play on the ball he still looks a little like
He's so
he
awkward.
looks like Blaise Matuidi in like 2014 kind of joint, but like Zuma still gets it done honestly pretty well like on the ball. Chilwell
is best player on Chelsea right now.
How much Chelsea you guys watched?
oh
A lot.
Chilwell
Every game.
has been like the
Best
best
signing.
like not the best signing. I think he's been one of the Chelsea's best players.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever you want to call it, he's insane.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be
He's-
England's left back for the next like
Lock
10 to 15 years.
He will be starting at the World
Okay,
Cup.
so there's those three things. So we just got Thiago Silva, generational center back, who's a leader and immediately is already. He had a couple blunders first 2 games. He's locked in. He's given up the stat for him and Mendy's goals
It's gross.
given up is insane. The
gross.
minutes that they haven't given
His
up a goal.
presence is more than
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what they needed. That's exactly kind of what United need. But so there's those three because Zuma's playing at his best. He's exceptional out of the air. Reece James.
Reece James, the man.
rapid.
He's
The
gonna challenge
man.
Trent.
Not just rapid.
Not yet.
I don't think so.
Not yet. He's
He
gonna
will.
challenge Trent.
He.
It's not going to be a thing of like he's better than Trent. I don't think it's going to be a thing where Trent's better than him. I think they're going to be close, and it's going to be tough to call. He's the most athletic player I think I've seen in the Prem this year.
Okay.
You run into him, bro, and you just fall over.
Yeah,
him.
but you compare him. It's like Trent's gonna hit your corners. Trent's gonna hit your
Dude,
free
Reece
kicks.
hits set pieces.
Reece can bang.
He hits
in
the
some
he
goals.
hits the
I'm
he
telling
hits
you
the Ronaldo. He hits the
This is
Ronaldo's
one of
open
those
foot.
where like we're jumping the gun.
You're right. No,
jumping the gun.
and
Yeah.
I don't. I kind of agree with you. I think there's aspects of Reece James's game
Yeah, red
that I
card,
think he
yeah.
needs to work on. But I think his future is very, very bright.
He gets
because
his
has
cross off
the
all the time. bro.
natural talent and ability that
Yeah.
is needed.
You guys got me sitting here thinking about United, and I'm like, oh, we play West Brom tomorrow. Should be wait, I don't know. like,
Tottenham should have lost to West Brom. They literally won on the 1-0 penalty kick in the 89th.
Chelsea should have lost
like-
to West Brom.
should we do some weekend predictions? Like,
Well,
I'm interested in.
I want to do one more thing. I talked about your United. I want to talk to Butchie about his Liverpool because I don't even know.
What's up with
how
Bobby?
many injuries?
It's
What's up with Bobby?
Bro, Bobby.
I just want to get your take on what's been going down.
Don't even start with Bobby. Give us your take on the injury situation because that's just
I've never seen this much bad luck in.
it's Lafayette High School. That's what it is. It's
Besides
us.
my Lafayette boys this year, I think I've never seen more injuries. And the biggest thing was like, you could tell that when Virgil went down, you're losing the best center back in the league, and you could see
in the world.
Yeah, in the world. You could also see like how it hit the players. Like they're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
We're not invincible anymore.
we just lost the
if
guy.
we make a mistake that's going to end up in a goal, it might actually be a goal now.
Yeah, we just lost the guy, and then all of a sudden, down goes Trent,
Down goes Robbo.
down goes Robbo, down goes Joe, and we're left with Joel Matip, who can't stay fit.
Didn't Hendo get hurt too?
Hendo's
Or-
hurt.
Hendo
Yeah,
just picked up
Hendo
a
got
knock.
hurt.
Isn't Thiago?
Thiago's hurt.
Fabinho? What's Fabinho?
Yo, and
He's
let me
good,
tell you
right?
something.
Fabinho's hurt.
Guess who you guys have at the weekend? Leicester City.
Yeah, we have Leicester.
Oh my God, they're going to run you rag.
So here's-
GG's.
And then the worst part was the backup to the backup, Reese Williams, got hurt with the U21s 2 days ago.
oh yeah, I know that guy.
I think this is karma for they shouldn't have won the
So-
title.
Whoa.
Hold up.
Butch takes
Don't.
Hey,
headphones off.
hey, hold my phone, bro. No, in all honesty though, like it's really bad luck, but guys, I'm worried. I'm really worried.
How could you not be?
Yeah, I would.
Like
I
I'm
would-
Always right in the
Luckily,
world.
My
you
gut
have,
hurt.
luckily, your midfield is the deepest in the
if
world.
only United was
Like Shaqiri's
decent.
going to come on. Like, oh no, like yeah, he's sick. Like you guys are going to be all right.
It's
Your
just-
defense
it's
is
the
not.
back
Your
four.
team's not invincible
Back four.
anymore. I think it's perfect for the Prem that you guys are where you are. You have
Oh,
to
it's a-
fight
Oh,
and scrap.
Oh, Chelsea's winning the Prem now.
If,
We're good.
even if it's not like I do not like Liverpool,
Yeah.
but the fact that Liverpool like those injuries did happen, like this next stretch of like 4 months is going to be super interesting in
Yeah.
the Prem.
We
Like,
have
for
to-
real, like it's going to be super interesting.
Oh yeah.
Us-
City's got their problems too.
I think we're gonna have a new leader every week. I think it's gonna be wild. I think it's going to be week by week type
What is
scenarios
it?
where the
I
table
wanna
is
look it up.
constantly going to be changing.
I think
And
it
I'm
is.
very pumped for that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Between points, I'm going to look at this real quick. between first is 18th, and then 6th is 15.
Yeah, it's a win.
Oh, go look at the whole table. It's like
20,
trust
19,
me.
18,
18, 17, 16,
Wild,
14,
man.
I mean,
15,
hey, United's
12.
8 points off the league. Like, we're all right. Chill.
3 games off the title.
3 games off the title. Can we do some predictions for this weekend?
Yeah, we can. We'll do
I'm
some
interested.
predictions.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up right here. If we want to go, 6:30 game, Newcastle at home. Chelsea's coming to Newcastle. What are we thinking?
Bend over Newcastle. I'm saying 4-0 Chelsea.
Any injuries Chelsea pick up from international?
If
Besides CP,
it looks like Kai Havertz is doubtful with something.
Interesting.
And then CP's obviously out. So
Let's see. That line is
Kovacic coming back hot off his trip.
Chelsea's
He'll
minus
play.
200,
Kobe.
over under 3 goals.
They'll be fire. Chelsea.
4-0 dub. My opinion.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea.
5-1 Chelsea.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go 2-0. I don't think Chelsea's gonna give up a goal. This is one of
Can
those
we-
I could see it being 2-0, or with like Werner and those guys, like I could see it being 6.
Yeah.
The thing is with Newcastle though,
Williams.
they've got a guy like Callum Wilson. He's got 6 goals in 8
Or
games.
Wilson. Sorry, my apologies.
He
Said
can
Williams.
And Almiron?
Almiron.
No, it's the
Maxim.
Maxim. Yeah.
I think Newcastle nicks a goal. They're at home. I think they get a goal.
I hope that doesn't happen. I think
Let's move on.
Frank is okay. Yeah, we can move on.
Tottenham.
Villa Brighton.
I think Villa
Is
takes
this
care of business.
is this like a consensus?
Hopefully
that
it's a
Villa-
3-0 Villa.
Yeah, Villa takes care of business.
I wouldn't mind like a 3-2 though. Just
I
'cause if we're
could
gonna be
s-
sitting
I see
watching
a
the game,
2-1.
like I want some goals.
I see a 2-1.
They 3-0'd Arsenal.
I think Villa wins like
Oh,
3-0. I could see
I
it.
think Brighton's better than Arsenal.
We're all team
so-
All right. Honestly, the game of the weekend, in my opinion, I mean Liverpool,
Yeah.
without City, Tottenham,
Yeah, for
City
sure.
Tottenham.
Jose, Pep.
The tables
I have to see.
are turned.
Let me.
tables
Someone
are
else go with this
turned.
one because I want to see injuries for City right now.
I think this game is going to be one of those where I think it's going to be like a 2-2, just because I think the tactical battle in this one's going to be super interesting. Because is Jose going to set up? Are they going to defend the entire game with their front 3? How is Pep going to set up with their midfield? How is Pep's back 4 going to deal with Kane, Son?
Keep City's
Bale.
injuries up.
Like, I don't know. I could see this one being like a 2-2, but it's a toss-up for me on which side I'm leaning. Like, if I'm a betting man, I'm probably going to bet on City, but tomorrow I will bet on City. So
No faith in the old man. They're in second place. Kane and Son are 2 of the best forwards in the world. You still can't give it to Mourinho?
no, it's
and
not.
City's
it's not,
in 9th.
It's not that. It's just that City's Pep just signed a new contract. City's going to hit their
Are you-
stride. City's going to hit their
Is
stride.
this recording?
I think City's winning.
City 3-1. Because there's a better coach on the field.
No. Say
I
it,
feel
Dylan. Say it.
like I have to take
Say it.
Tottenham now.
Tottenham has never. There has never been
You're
a
gonna
more
bet
advanced.
Tottenham tomorrow night?
I'm betting Spurs now.
Yep, there it is.
He just flipped me.
Yep, there it is. Your ego.
It's ego thing.
He rides
It's
or dies with Joe.
Well, I think it's
All right,
just
Butchie, what do you got? What do you got in this game
3-1 is my scoreline.
for Tottenham?
Spurs.
Wow, I say 2-1 City.
That's what I'm going with. 2-1 City.
Love that. So,
Don't skip over United.
I
United West Brom, very up in the air game. two
1-0.
two equal teams facing off.
Bruno PK 89.
0-0.
Bruno PK originally isn't called a PK.
Yeah, VAR.
Takes it to VAR, then it's a PK. 1-0 United.
If
Rebound, he taps in.
Pogba's on the field, 1-0. If he's not,
0-0.
0-0.
Such a bum. All right.
Oh, and that 1-0 is an L because he's giving up a PK in the 89th.
That's your boy right
I know.
there.
I know. I'm not happy with his performances of lately, but still think the man's mad talented.
Who's the morning Sunday games? I know Leicester. Liverpool's like 11.
I mean, it's Everton, Fulham, Sheffield, West Ham, Leeds, and Arsenal. Leeds will probably
Let's go quick.
smoke
Let's
that
go quick.
Leeds Arsenal game is a good one.
Let's go quick. I think Everton's beating Fulham. I don't know the scoreline. I'd probably say 3-1. 3-1. Next.
Is Richarlison back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes a difference. 3-1's a good one. I think that's going to be like a 4-1. Fulham is shite. I'm sorry, Tim Ream. You guys are terrible.
Let's just get your Liverpool predictions out.
Yeah, I just want to hear that, really.
All right.
Leeds
Liverpool
is smoking Arsenal, by the way, JP and
Leeds.
Kurt. But
Jackie Harrison.
So 1-15 game Leicester versus Liverpool. Hate to say it to you, Butch. Liverpool's no defense, and Vardy's going to run rapid.
Is Allison healthy?
Chat shit.
He's back
get
healthy?
banged. 3-0. And I think Vardy's getting a hat trick.
Chat shit, get bang, mate.
And we'll let Butch go last. I'm going 2-2. I think it's Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp's going to have a good game plan. They're going to be set up, ready to go. I think that it's one of those random coaches to where you literally everybody on that field will die for him.
Yeah.
Like they're good, regardless of injuries. Like they're still going to step up.
No, you're
and
right.
like
And
it's not like they lost. Mane, Salah, Firmino, like their front three is, but like they're going to score in my opinion. Like I think they're going to give up goals, but I think it's going to be like a 2-2.
No
Ndidi,
no Soyuncu, no Pereira.
Yeah,
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Pereira was
I think it's
literally
gonna be 2-2.
a right back of the year last year,
And I love
Soyuncu's
Soyuncu.
a beast, and Ndidi was a holding mid of the year last year.
2-2. I trust, as much as I hate to say it, I trust Klopp and I trust Liverpool.
Wow.
All
right, Butchie, let's hear yours then.
Oh, man,
Thiago's playing 3-1 Liverpool.
That's all you needed.
I was scrolling through that injury list and my stomach hurt.
Yeah, how many scrolls did
Yeah,
that
sorry, I
take?
scrolled right back to it.
I'll be honest, I just looking at all the star names that are on that list, I'm going 2-2. I'm playing for a draw. I'm playing for a draw, man. You got the number one team in the league right now coming into Anfield with 9 players out.
Fans.
I'll tell you what, these are the
I'm playing for a
games.
draw.
These are the games. If you're Leicester, like these, or Liverpool, vice versa. Like when you hear you're hurt, these are the games that like it sounds crazy, but like you win the league on these games.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Leicester's,
if Liverpool
Leicester's
wins
getting
this
to play
game,
Liverpool
God,
with nobody.
It sucks that there's no fans there, dude.
Oh, dude.
if Liverpool,
Anfield for this
if
game.
Liverpool
Anfield, second
beats
best stadium in the
Leicester,
Premier League.
if Liverpool beats Leicester with the squad that they're about to put
On
out,
St. Mary's.
I'm scared. How you were just saying you were scared, I'm scared. If they have the ability to still perform at that high of a level with all of these injuries,
Thiago,
I know.
Keita,
Do you bet?
It's wild.
I would never. I would never bet against Klopp.
Jota,
Klopp's-
Firmino.
Klopp's different. He's different.
He's
Mane,
He's
right?
a generational manager.
Sounds good. Fuck off.
I would
Ryan.
take
think
that
we're
starting
wrapping.
for United.
Yeah, let's
right?
wrap
I
it.
would
Let's
take
wrap
that-
it.
Fucking those 6.
Are we doing one hot take?
Yeah,
like
we
we did?
do one hot take. One hot take.
I'm not ready, so somebody else go.
I mean, mine's not really that big of a hot take. I'm very biased. I think Chelsea's winning the Premier League this year. Keep going. Go Blues.
I'll go next if you're not ready, Butch.
Go ahead.
Ziyech will have more goals and assists combined than anyone else in the Prem. Even though Kane is on a record-breaking pace for it, Ziyech will beat him.
Love that.
My hot take is the player of the year in La Liga will be João Felix.
Wow.
Well,
I love how Butchie did go there. I was going to say that my hot take is I think that neither Madrid nor Barcelona are winning La Liga.
Wow.
That is a hot take. But I don't disagree. All right.
David Silva, dog.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. GG's, boys.
Good stuff, guys. Thanks for coming out. Mecca of Banter. Catch you next time.
Peace.
Cheers, lads.